on. Good afternoon, everybody. Kamusta po kayong lahat on a very sunny Saturday afternoon? I'm Riza Diaz at kasama kong ating mga ka-chasers. Ngayong hapon ito, we want to welcome everybody to the show. I know a lot of us are still in our homes kasi tayo yung naka-lockdown pa rin, may mga restrictions pa rin at merong paparating na bagyo. So later on, ibabagyuhin din namin kayo ng napakaraming sports balita. But the chasers would want to say hello first to our viewers for today. Waylon Galvez is joining us. How are you, Waylon?
Hi, Riza, mga ka-chasers, Jerry, Abak, and Zaldi. At syempre, yung mga kababayan nating tumututok sa The Chasedown, ang mga ka-chasers natin, sabi nga ni Riza, the beautiful soon-to-be mommy, nako, bagyo ang mga dala naming istorya. Kaya tuto kayo, 2 oras, iyahatid namin mamaya yan.
That's true. Coming all the way still from Clark, Pampanga, inside the PBA bubble, which is one of the many topics that we are going to discuss later. And Jerry?
Oo, Riz, kahit tayo after 7 months. Habang walang ginagawa dito sa bubble, habang na-break, nag-ahit ako, naglaba ako. Pero dito sa show natin, walang break. Dahil tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aatid natin ng mga balita at pasabog sa mundo ng palakasan. Riza?
That's true. You know how they say November is like no shave November? Di ba? Ang daming mga ganon. But Jerry's on the opposite end. Or is Jerry getting ready not to shave the entire of November? So, iniksiyan na niya. But
ito tayo, pulang-pula at talagang pinaghahandaan din natin yung pagdating nito si Bagyong Rolly dahil according to weather forecast, packing peak winds of up 250 kilometers per hour and that is enough para makatumbayan ng puno. Pero sana naman, huwag naman mangyari at huwag tumama ng napakalakas dahatin dito sa Pilipinas. Pero dito po, sa Chasedown, sa The Chasedown, lagi naman po kaming handa. At every Saturday, talagang pinaghahandaan ng buong staff po yan upang maibigay sa inyo ang mga maiinit at mga napapanahong balita pagdating sa palakasan. So, mantabay lamang po kayo sa loob ng 2 oras from 2 to 4 p.m. Magkakasama-sama tayo.
Okay lang, magandang araw sa inyo lahat. Sayang, walang PBA live games mamaya. Talagang ganyan. Pero standby lang. Anood lang muna kayo. Sabi nga ni Saldi, 2 to 4 to. Mananawagan na rin ako kay Rolly. Baka naman pwedeng lumihis ka. Lumayo ka na. Huwag ka naman gulo dito. Thank you.
sana magbago yung isip niya, umiba ng direksyon. But nevertheless, what is for sure this afternoon is we're going to bring you a lot of sports stories from here and abroad. So let's welcome everyone to the show, ang ating mga suki tuwing Saturday hapon. Let's welcome everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to... Let's start off with the hottest headline from last week. Pinagsama-sama natin ang mga pinakamaiinit na balita. Ang pinakauna dyan, kahapon, fresh from, of course, the news that shocked the PBA fans. The PBA bubble games suddenly was called off to be postponed to a later date na hindi natin alam kung kailan. And that is, of course, in adherence to the recommendation of the IATF. Is it because of that certain player na nag-positive daw from the Blackwater Elite? Yan ang ating alamin mamaya sa show.
Okay, sa akin naman. Calvin Abueva ng Phoenix Fuel Masters na-reinstate na after 16 long months na suspension.
Aba. Okay. Commission on Higher Education, digit athlete as well.
Bagong NBA season.
Jerry?
Posibleng aarangkada na itong Disyembre. Napakabilis ng pangyayari, no? Sisimula na agad ng bagong season yung NBA.
Eto, fresh na fresh. Ang kaibigan nating online karate sensation, James De Los Santos, patuloy ang paghakot ng gintong medalya sa ikata. Naku, fresh yan. Mamaya may babalita tayo.
Nice. And also later on the show, we'll have with us Dr. Raul Canlas here in the Philippines. Kilalang kilala si Doc Canlas, but he happens to be PBA Medical Consultant. So mamaya makikibalita tayo sa kanya on again the situation that we have in the PBA, and also perhaps yung mga ilang injuries. Ang dami na ring players na nagsasuffer ng injuries inside the PBA bubble. And also meron tayong makakausap, isa sa ating mga pinagmamalaking Pinoy fencer, SEA Game medalist, Sam Catantan is joining us finally. Is it via the phone? Lamang? Yes, okay. So we'll be talking to her via the phone because again, last week, ibinalita po namin sa inyo the good news where she is going, yes, to the university, tama ba yung pangalan? University of Pennsylvania. Yes, so mamaya makakausap natin siya. Plus, may mga PBA players din tayong sisikapin makausap. So titignan natin, even though the games are suspended since yesterday as for the PBA games up until today at hindi nga natin alam kung kailan mag-resume, we'd like to update our PBA fans with the current team standings in the PBA so far after about 2 weeks and certain number of days of playing. Ang TNT Tropang Giga po ay nangunguna pa rin in the team standings of 5-1. Their only loss was against the NLEX Road Warriors. Is that correct? Which was a very, very heated game. Grabe ng pagka-exciting ng laro na yun. Rain or Shine is a win behind TNT with 4 wins and 1 losses. Ganun din ang Barangay Ginebra. May 4 na panalo na po at 2 talo. San Miguel is right behind them with also 4 wins. Alaska is in the middle of the pack with 5 wins but 3 losses. So mas marami nang nailalaro itong Alaska Aces, but nevertheless, they're still playing very, very well. After Alaska is the Phoenix Fuel Masters. That's now a day or on game na nakabalik na siya. And then after Phoenix is the Meralco Bolts with 3 wins and 3 losses. Blackwater Elite still trying to get their groove back with 2 wins and 3 losses. Ganun din ang Magnolia together with NLEX. Samantala, ang Terra Firma is still searching for that elusive first win inside the bubble. Now, our Signal TV PBA Press Corps Player of the Week is none other than Chris Newsom, averaging 20 points per game so far for the Meralco Bolts in their past 6 games. He is also racking up 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1 and had the best player of the game record award also. So again, congratulations to Chris Newsom for securing our Signal TV PBA Press Corps Player of the Week. So again, ang ating PBA games put on hold for a quick minute, but I like how the games have been going so far. Sayang, no? Ang ganda pa naman ng momentum na sana ng mga laro. The players are getting back into their groove, into their shape. Nakikita na natin bumabalik yung dati nilang mga siglat, lakas, and then suddenly, matitigil nga tayo. Your thoughts so far, Zaldi, regarding the previous games that we had in this past week?
Okay, talaga sanang napaki na sila nga yung mga laro. I mean, ang masasabi ko lamang dito, sayang yung effort. Hindi lamang ng mga team, but the whole PBA, the PBA as a whole. At sana matuloy na ito dahil mas mahirap kung halimbawa sa kalagitnaan itong bakbakan na ito ay maputol, malaking hindi matutuloy itong season na ito.
Now, before we would discuss any further about, of course, the cancellation of games inside the PBA bubble, Abak, what do you think about these players like Kevin Alas, na naging best player of the game din for the NLEX Road Warriors recently, and Calvin Abueva, who also took home Best Player of the Game awards. Considering, di ba, ito yung mga players na medyo matagal na wala, Calvin didn't play for like 16 months. Kevin was also,
Yes, it's getting to be very interesting because all these players, all these 12 teams, are trying to prove themselves. And ang maganda dito is that the game have gotten tough na, nakatikim na ng talo. So, kumbaga, nagising na lahat yan. Gising na lahat except for a couple of teams na talagang down the stairs. Hindi naman natin sila, we're not counting them out. But maganda dito is that each game now is a crucial game for everybody. You have to pick up the wins heading to the upper side of the elimination. Ibig sabihin, the games that you are supposed to win, kailangan mo ipanalo. Kung 5-1 record mo, kalaban mo 0-5, siguro naman kailangan ipanalo mo yon. Masakit sila.
right, Waylon, the games have been like pretty on a very busy schedule, like almost every day. The players.
Actually, Riza, before the tournament, yan ang naging discussion din ng some of the coaches na nakausap ko and of course ibang players. Yung pagdikit-dikit ng games na sometimes they need to play 3 games in a week. Pero ngayon mukhang wala namang nagko-complain. ang talagang tinututukan nila is yung syempre yung for them to win, yung each of the team, no? Kaya yung mga players, wala kang maririnig na angal. Anyway, ilang months natin inantay ang PBA, so ito na, di ba? Aangal pa ba itong mga to? Excited itong lumaro. So far, wala tayong narinig sa kanila na napagod or any angal dahil dikit-dikit ang game. So, ganda yan.
That's a good sign. Now, speaking of a good sign, we actually have with us on the show and is ready to come in to give us more update, not only about what's happening inside the PBA bubble, suddenly cancellation of games, and also, of course, sa mga kalusugan ng ating mga manlalaro, sa ating mga PBA idols. Would like to introduce to you a renowned orthopedic surgeon and the only Filipino, ladies and gentlemen, to be part of the PBA Medical Commission since 1998. He's also a PBA Medical Consultant at talaga naman pakubuhan ng ating mga PBA idols sa tuwing kakailanganin nila ang kanyang serbisyo. One of the most trusted doctors in Philippine sports world. We have Dr. Raul Canlas joining us this afternoon. Doc, magandang hapon po.
Good afternoon, Riza.
Oo nga, Doc. I can see that you're broadcasting from home.
Yes, I just got home. Yes, I'm home right now.
Well, I hope that your family is well, and thank you for taking the time.
Yes, Jerry.
Doc.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes. Doc, siyempre na-postpone yung Philippine Cup midway sa elimination round. Pwede po ba yung medyo bigyan ng klaro o paglilinaw yung especially yung mga nanonood sa atin kung bakit po pansamantalang natigil ang paglalaro?
Protocols, yung bubble. But I think the PBA should come out with a statement that we're starting again after the storm, which is on Tuesday. So everything will be a go, yes. Ano lang, nag-adjust lang. May konting suggestions ang DOH that CDC and the PBA are more than willing to follow. So it should be okay. It's all systems go by Tuesday.
So, masasabi po ba natin na so far, hindi pa na-breach yung bubble?
Oh yes, 100%. 100%. So, let's say 97% yung test. We're testing 350 people. So you will have about 9 to 12 people having inconclusive tests. Then we test them again and they come out negative. So far, 100% negative ang bubble.
Si Abak Cordero, Abak, bilis, habang hindi tayo sisingil ng consultation fee.
Ako.
May UP naming mahal ka dyan sa likod.
Ako, pagdating Pagdating sa consultation, tested yan si Dr. Canlas. Dahil naalala ko many years back, nagkaroon ako ng matinding back pain and I was in the US. Pero text kami ng text si Doc sa akin kung anong gagawin ko. Hindi ko na makakalimutan yun, Doc. Salamat. Ang tanong ko, Doc, ito pang kaso nung yung mga false positive po ng Blackwater player and nung referee, did it have anything to do with this cancellation?
Yes, because we found out, alam nyo, itong bubble is a work in progress. The only other bubble na very successful was the NBA, and it's a totally different setting, totally different financial resources, totally different countries along the way. It would have been ironed out. Yes, I would think that had one of them was that, and then the others were observations during the past ilang linggo na ba tayo? 3 weeks, little things that we will have adjustments with, and I think the PBA will come out with a statement by this afternoon on what adjustments will be made. Pero okay yan. I don't see any problem. The Blackwater player should be able to play. His quarantine will be ending, I think, Monday, and the referees also will be ending Tuesday. So, okay na yun. Okay na yung dalawang yan.
Aba?
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you.
Yes. Good afternoon, Doc. Opo, ako may kukonsulta ako sa iyo, Doc. Medyo, pagka maghuhubad ako ng damit pa ganyan, ilang years ka na tinitiis to eh. Doc, mamaya tawagan kita after the show.
Sige, sige.
Handa ka na.
Madalas yan sa mga diabetic.
Diagnosis.
Grabe naman yun.
Yes, Raylan.
Tanong lang, you mentioned earlier, Dr. Canlas, that Tuesday yung balik ng PBA. Pero, yeah. Baka you're at liberty na kung pwedeng i-discuss kung ano yung mga, pwede parang ito, recess tayo, baka pwedeng may palitan or anything na pagandahin.
More. I will not jump the gun on the PBA statement, but more may dadagdagan na konti lang. It's not really drastic changes. Pero may mga dadagdagan lang na procedures that were advised by the IATF to make the bubble run more smoothly. So nothing drastic. It's just that ako rin, actually, I welcome this recess para maka-recover yung mga players. Medyo nabubugbog na din sila eh. So I actually welcome this recess. If you notice, they were not banned from going around, from going to the weight room, from doing their jogging. I think this was good for them. And if I remember right, by today, they will be allowed to practice. Kung magpa-practice man sila, they'll be allowed to practice in the court. So for me, this recess, aside from streamlining the protocols, is good for the players. Makakabuti sa kanila kasi makaka-rest. Nakikita niyo yung standings. Medyo dikdikan sila eh. So the next 2 weeks will be very important for them.
Dr. Last follow-up lang. Doon sa testing na ginagawa, the type of testing, do you think na kailangan bang palitan yun para hindi na nakakakuha ng false positive?
Maybe what we can improve on is getting the results faster. And that's, I admire the CDC, Secretary Vince Dizon. He's making ways to improve the reporting of the tests para hindi na tayo masyadong naabala waiting for the results. I think the CDC will make something about that. Everything is still going well. We're just streamlining. Tama ka, dun sa testing, it's not 100%, but it's still the gold standard. It's still what the basis of diagnosis of the virus is. Maybe if we have to improve, it's just to get the results faster than what we've been doing the past 2 weeks.
All right, Doc Canlas. Salamat po.
Thank you. Thank you.
Zalfi, go ahead.
Hi, Doc. Kumusta?
Good afternoon,
Good
Raul. Good afternoon.
Okay ka, kanina kasi nabanggit ninyo na yung are you at liberty to tell us?
I think it will be come out. If you wait later this afternoon, the PBA will come out with a statement of the addendums. Hindi naman sila drastic very minor adjustments lang. I suggest you wait for the statement of the PBA. I don't want to jump the gun on the PBA now. But we worked on it. Com Willie, Coach Eric, CDC, the CDC medical team, the team of Secretary Vince Dizon, even Chairman Vargas. We worked on it overnight so that I think it will help. It will help a lot in making it simpler.
So, yung PBA is working with the Department of Health. So, gumawa din po ba kayo ng mga suggestions? Ano yung mga suggestions na sinabi din ninyo doon sa Department of Health?
We suggest help. You have to understand, nationwide sila So, this sports bubble is something new to everyone. It's something new to the world. So, merong konting suggestions and then they'll talk about it, papayag sila. So, they came out with a statement on improvements. It was a back and forth between the PBA, the CDC, the Department of Health, and IATF for the past, 24. Remember, hindi natin alam kung ito lang ang bubble. Hindi natin alam how it will be next time. Will it be a bubble? FIBA, I want to tell you that FIBA is actually observing us and then learning from us ano yung pwedeng gawin kasi magbabubble na rin ang FIBA. It's only shorter tournaments, 8 days. But they'll be playing bubbles all over the world. So they're actually make a report when this bubble is over on procedures on how to make a bubble, basketball bubble, smooth running. Also remember, the college leagues are also considering a bubble next year. So a lot counts that this bubble, the PBA bubble, be successful and be smooth running because other activities down the line will depend on it. That's why we're very careful. Com Willie was not hesitant.
One last question, Doc. In the past ba, every day or regular yung testing na ginagawa ninyo doon sa lahat ng tao inside the bubble?
Ang protocol ng CDC was once every 2 weeks because that was the cycle of the virus. It has worked for us. There were suggestions and they're still studying the suggestions. Kasi again, remember, itong virus na ito, pati yung testing, next week, iba na may bagong tests na, may cheaper tests na. So we're re-evaluating this as time goes on. But I want to thank you. So far, magandang testing procedure ng CDC.
Okay. Thank you, Doc.
So, Doc, just to recap po yung ating mga napag-usapan so far. The PBA is set to make an announcement very soon, hopefully this afternoon, as to when the PBA games will be resuming. But they are inside along with the staff. Kasi yung mga pamilya po nila, syempre, Doc, I'm sure, naging worried din for the past few, hours nung narinig nila na, suddenly, if I was with like a wife or something na biglang natigil yung laro, magkakabahan ka. So, at least there's nothing to worry about, just a recess. I like how you termed it to be a short break, and then, it's a step back, yes, but reassess everything so that we can move forward na tuloy-tuloy na. Doc, on a different perspective, hindi naman yung test, may nakakausap po ba kayong athletes na nagsasabi sa inyo na, ayun nga, dahil araw-araw ang laro, it's a different toll on their bodies. What do you tell them?
Well, actually, wala. Like earlier said, they're all looking forward na bigyan sila maglaro. What I do get, like I just got a packet by messenger of MRIs. I do get injuries. And then I work with the physical therapists in the bubble. A couple of times I went there. We went with protocols. We were distanced. I didn't enter the bubble. The therapist was with the player, and we treated them. And so far, it's been successful. I have not heard of any of the athletes saying burnout na sila. As of now, gigil pa rin silang maglaro. Gigil pa rin silang
That's
maglaro.
good that they're remaining to be enthusiastic. Doc, ang sakripisyo po ng mga manlalaro sa PBA bubble, hindi natin matatawaran. But there's a lot of, I'd like to say, unsung heroes that we don't see on the court, but their roles inside the PBA bubble is so important. Yung mga PTs po natin na nandun, I heard some teams nga opted to leave some of their coaches and work from home, physical therapists ng mga kupunan po natin, along with, of course, their medical staff.
Well, the physical therapist is the first man on call, no? Kung may ma-injure, siya yung una nandun. And siya yung may alam sa player. So, they would rather have somebody from their team than have the medical team on call attending to their player. And second point, few times alam na nila kung gagawin. It's very important. Remember, the bubble only had a number of people that you can enter. And most if not all the teams had their physical side from home, yung mga video. Actually, mas hirap sila eh. Hirap kasi everyday may games, so the video coaches are having a hard time pinagsusunod-sunod ang games. Now, let me assure everyone that the bubble's very safe. In fact, for the families who are listening, be controlled. I think they're even a safer place than where we are right now.
Well, that's very comforting to know at mag-aantay nga po kami, Doc Canlas, ng mga balita pa ngayong hapon na to sa magiging development ng PBA Games from, of course, that press con that is set to happen there. For taking the time out to be with us today. Lagi ko lang po narinig yung pangalan po ninyo eh. Kapag pupunta po ako sa mga interviews, laging sasabihin, to Doc Canlas, o dadaling kay Doc Canlas, or nanggaling kay Doc Canlas, as per Doc Canlas, puro po ganun. Kaya ngayon po, na-starstruck po ako sa inyo kasi ngayon ko lang po kayo nakita sa parang TV po, parang ganyan.
You interviewed me in the UAP when you were a courtside reporter. Amerika pa lang.
UAP pa, Doc?
Yeah. Marami pa buhok ko noon.
Ikaw, Risa, makakalimutin ka na.
Marami pa akong buhok
Eh,
ko
kasi naman, pag sinabi kasi ni Doc,
Neneng siya noon.
may pa po ba? Doc, isa na lang po pala, si Abak may tanong. Abak, ikaw, sige na nga, gusto mo na
Yes,
magpakonsulta talaga eh.
Yes, Abak.
Yes, gaya ng nasabi ni Doc, alam mo naman niya si Doc, he's the doctor of Philippine sports. Gaya ng nasabi niya, I just got word from our reporter inside the bubble. I'm sure Jerry knows this by now na rin, na the games will resume on Tuesday, the practices will resume tomorrow.
Yes, I concur. It's very safe. I think this recess actually helped us in restarting, in redefining our protocols and streamlining everything. And the future tournaments, not just the PBA, collegiate, FIBA, or whatever bubble tournaments, will learn from what we're doing right now.
Okay.
All right. So,
Doc,
Doc,
pagkama naman yung bubble and yung tournament, always welcome ka, ha?
Yes, you have my numbers. I'm on call when I'm not busy. Anytime.
Doc, best regards po sa inyo pong family at stay safe and healthy kasi, you look out for everybody, but who looks out for the doctor? So we hope and pray you always remain healthy dahil talaga namang pong importante. Dr. Raul Canlas, thank you po. Maraming salamat.
Thank you for the opportunity. And be safe, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc.
You too,
Doc.
Doc. Thank you very much.
Baka makuha sa lompas yan.
Na-break na ni Dr. Canlas kung kailan magre-resume ang game sa PBA. And that will be on Tuesday para pakan.
Yan.
Anong inanaw ko na dito sa The Chasedown. O, di ba?
No, you know what? Seriously,
Hindi ba
I
kayo
hear Doc
tumalakpak eh?
Canlas. I hear
Oo
Doc
nga.
Canlas.
Sabi ko lang, balak pa ako ba?
Oh my gosh, ilang taon na po yung nakakalipas.
Interview mo pala.
Ako, Risa,
Oh,
yun, nakalimutan mo. Tapos mga anak ka pa, patay ka na.
o bakit?
Mas magiging makakalimutin ka.
Huwag naman.
Nakwa.
Ano lang?
Lalo na pag nasaksakan ng ano yan. ng ano ba yun? Yung
Anesthesia.
pampamanhid.
Kailangan
Anesthesia.
i-sharpen. Kailangan i-sharpen ang
Oh,
memory. But
nagiging-
thank you again to Doc Canlas for that wonderful interview. You know, it's always nice to hear na everyone is safe inside the bubble. Kasi I have friends who are wives of the players, di ba? Who's, you know, moms of the players. At talagang maraming naging worried other than, of course, the PBA fans themselves. So mamaya, sisikapin po natin.
Actually, yung interview natin kay Doc Canlas ay napakaganda. Dahil yung sa mga nanonood, kasi yung biglang pag-suspend ng game sa PBA, maraming nagtatanong, di ba? Dami nagtatanong, siguro meron ng gano'n, na-burst na yung bubble o whatever. Pero after this, itong ating interview kay Doc Canlas, lalo na yung mga nakapanood sa atin, siguro nalinawan sila, nalinawan at nakita nila. At saka napakagandang interview ni Doc Canlas dahil kaya napakaliwanag, although yung ibang katanungan hindi na sinagot dahil siyempre parang nababypass ang PBA. Pero okay yung interview kay Doc Canlas. Marami tayong nakuha sa kanya at naliwanagan.
Alright. Now, isa pang okay na balita, ang pagbabalik nga ni The Beast prior to the Ginebra rain or shine game that went to overtime. That game when Calvin played really racked up views, especially sa ating live stream. Jerry, we want to ask you more about Calvin Abueva since you're there inside the bubble. Were you able to talk to him? Ano yung mood, especially nung nagbalik na siya after 16 months suspension?
Nahalikan niya yata si Commissioner Marshall nung in-announce na ililit na yung suspension niya.
Sa tuwa.
Tatandaan niyo, Friday night after Phoenix won over Magnolia coming back from a 17-point deficit. Coach Topex Robinson became very emotional sa post-game interview niya. And
Correct.
dinededicate nga nila yung panalong yon kay Calvin Abueva. And the morning after, they met with Commissioner Willie Marshall and Deputy Com Eric Castro, si Calvin, si Coach Topex Robinson, and si team manager Paulo Bugia, where Commissioner Marshall announced na eligible na uli na maglaro si Calvin Abueva for Phoenix next game against, and very very energetic pa rin si Calvin, masayahin, and kung makikita mo yun sa laro niya first game, wala na yung antics no, medyo binawasan, but yung enthusiasm, yung desire to play, to help Phoenix especially to win the game, nando doon. He scored 21 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists, no? Almost double-double in 31 minutes of play. Kung napanood nyo, parang hindi siya na-lay off ng 16 months, di ba? And was naging best player of the game in one of the most highly anticipated comebacks siguro in PBA history. Please?
Right. You know how everyone in the PBA missed Calvin Abueva, whether it's the good or the bad side of Calvin Abueva. It's always, very interesting to have him around. Waylan, when you score 21 points on a game na kababalik mo lamang after being away from, basketball, competitive basketball.
Of course, yung character ni The Beast, no, na hindi natin matatawaran. Sabi nga ni Jerry, maski 16 months na nawala si Calvin, yung enthusiasm, yung energy niya, kilala natin si Calvin na gano'n nandun pa rin. So, kumbaga parang hindi naalis kay Calvin yun And I agree dun sa sinabi ni Jerry kanina and I commend Calvin for yung antics na nawala, no, na kumbaga yun yung medyo sa kanya kumbaga parang nag-criticize siya sa mga ganun na ginagawa niya na dapat basketball lang, inalis niya yun, focus lang sa laro, give his team, the Phoenix LPG ng leadership, ginawa niya lahat yun, and saludo ako kay Calvin sa ginawa niya.
Yeah, considering, I think I saw on social media, Calvin's grandmother, toughness, and that desire talaga na makabalik sa paglalaro. But are you liking the Calvin 2.0 somehow?
Yes, ako, my thoughts are that Calvin Abuev deserves the second chance. Hindi ba? But also, he must realize that this may be his last card in the PBA. A lot of eyes are on him. Not only the PBA, meron nandiyan ng GAB, minamatahan din siya. And of course, the other team owners who may possibly end up as his next team, tinitingnan din siya kung talaga bang nagbago na siya. Di ba? Ako naman, he deserves the second chance. And also, the PBA needs him dahil yung first game niya, viewership. So, welcome back, Alvin.
Yeah, Zaldi, your thoughts about Calvin Abueva's return?
Well, siyempre lahat naman tayo. Tama nga, in the history of the PBA, most anticipated comeback nga yan, yung sinasabi nga ni Jerry. Pero sana, yung 16-month suspension niya, magsilbing talagang leksyon sa kanya. Kasi at saka sana huwag siya makakalimot. Kung ano yung lesson na natutuhan niya dito sa 16 month, labing 6 na buwan, tagalugin natin. Nabubulol ako. Labing 6 na buwan na pagka-suspindi sa kanya, sana hindi niya malimutan. At lahat yung aral na yun ay laging every game ay nakakalimot eh. Nakakalimot minsan yung isang tao. At remember, second chance niya ito. So, dapat siguro laging control lang pagod. At siguradong magtatagal ka sa PBA. And welcome back.
Alright, Jerry, anything else from that side regarding Calvin Abueva? Kailan ba susunod nilang laro po nagkataon?
Riz, kasi tapon na uli yung previous na schedule eh. Dahil pinospone yung lahat ng mga incoming games. So, as of the moment, wala pa kaming nakukuhang bagong schedule. Yun pa lang ang advice na rin. So, wala pa kaming idea kung ano yung schedule ng games once the Philippine Cup resumes.
Okay, so babalitaan mo kami, right? Immediately when that game schedule is released. So again, we're glad that finally the beast is back, and then hopefully magtuloy-tuloy na nga ang kanyang magandang performance dito sa PBA. Pag-usapan naman natin ngayon, Jerry, still about, of course, what's going on inside the PBA bubble. Hihingi sana kami ng update, although Doc Canlas touched on this a little earlier, about that positive case from a Blackwater player. Meron na ba tayong mga iba pang updates?
After niya test ng negative sa antigen test and yung confirmatory PCR test niya, no? I think kailangan niya pang i-complete yung isolation. 10 days na lang yata eh. Previously kasi 14 days ang kailangan mong i-remain sa isolation facility, but yung bagong ng IATF is ginawa na lang nilang 10 days. Mas umikli na lang.
Okay, so sana tuloy-tuloy na din ang kanyang recovery, at mamaya nga subukan nating makakuha pa ng balita regarding the resumption, of course, of the games of the PBA that is set to be announced through a press con mamayang hapon. Pero lipat muna tayo, granting already or releasing rather guidelines para sa resumption ng sports training. Kanina nabanggit ni Doc Canlas, no? Ang college leagues, pinapanood ng PBA, they're observing us. And then ito nga, ang CHED, naglabas na ng guidelines para sa resumption ng sports training. Inilabas ng Commission on Higher Education ang kanilang guidelines para makapag-umpisa na nga ang mga student athletes na at least makapag-practice. Although, ang kaklaruhin natin, it's limited. Again, there's protocols that needs to be observed regarding team drill, workouts, and body conditioning pa rin yun. So far, it's just workouts, conditioning, and team drills. Now, our athletes, ages 18 to 21 years old, kakailanganin nilang makasecure ng parental consent, habang ang mga atleta naman natin na below 18 years old hindi pa papayagan dun sa kumbaga physical training, online training lamang ang pinapayagan so far ng Commission on Higher Education for them. At syempre hindi sila obligadong magpa-test, pwede rin nilang piliin ang 14-day isolation period bilang alternative should especially those that are in the collegiate ranks, right Zaldi?
Oo, syempre. At yung mga nabanggit, hindi pinapayagan yung scrimmages, hindi yung mga 18 to 21 years old, mayroon pang kailangan na parental consent. At ito naman siguro bago nilabas ng mga kinauukulan ng Department of Health o ng IATF ay talagang pinag-aralan nilang maigi. Pero on the part of, syempre, itong mga estudyante, yung mga athlete na ito, medyo makaka-apekto rin ito doon sa kanilang training. Dahil sa unang-una, meron tinatawag nila, nag-i-ensayo yan. Kung hindi pa talagang full talaga yung ensayo nila, pati yung mga performance nila ay ma-apektuhan. Pero anyway, ito para naman sa kanilang kabutihan, kaya nga tanggapin natin. At unti-unti siguro
by the Commission on Higher Education.
Well, we all have to be very careful on this because una-una, mga estudyante yan, meaning mga bata yan. So, sorry, minsan even if the government allows or even the school allows, if the parents don't allow their children to resume with all the possibilities ng baka it may be an issue, no? And sana siguraduhin natin when it comes to the decision na baka payagan na rin sila ng face-to-face training, siguraduhin mo nang merong UAAP, merong NCAA. Balikan natin without pointing any fingers. Alam naman natin yung nangyari sa UST. Napunta dyan yung issue na nag-iensayo pala kayo, which later on was proven false by the government, the local government, na wala daw training na nangyari. Thank you.
Very quick, before we move on to the next topic, Waylon, if Willa was in college right now and is playing for a college team, would you allow her to join fit? Oh, Waylon's not with us. Sayang, I was gonna ask Waylon kung papayagan niya si Willa. Aba, let me throw the question back to you. You have teenagers already, di ba, na mga anak. Kung sakaling sila, mga student athletes, would you personally allow them to train?
If I could see the guidelines, why not, di ba? Kung basta naman tayo naman, gusto lang natin maniguro. Hindi naman pwede natin isip natin na ayoko na talaga. If you are confident with the guidelines that has been put up, why not? Kung basta safety lang, always be sure of the safety of the children.
Right. It's better to be safe than sorry. And again, there's mission and higher education. Let's talk about this time from local sports to international sports. The LA Dodgers winning the World Series. Zaldi.
okay. At of course, after 32 years, kanina pa ako talunin. Of course, ang Tampa Bay Rays sa Game 6 ng World Series sa score na 3-1. At ito ang kanilang pang-pitong World Series title ng Dodgers at pangalawang major sports title ng Los Angeles ngayong taon. Of course, alam naman na natin yun. Ang maganda nito, unfortunately, nagkaroon ng kontrobersiya dahil itong isang player ng Dodgers na si Justin Turner ay napag-alamang positive sa COVID-19. At wantakin nito, nalaman, lumabas yung resulta, ay nandun na kasalukuyan nasa kasagsagan yung laro. Nasa 8th inning. Kaya immediately, pinull out si Turner doon sa game at kagad na in-isolate. At ito pa ang catch. Pagkatapos yung laro, siyempre, lumabas din na nag-champion na yung Dodgers, naka-isolate itong si Turner, hindi nakatiis. Hindi ko alam kung tumakas to o talagang nakalabas lang talaga. At sumama pa doon sa celebration ng mga kasama niya, championship. Hindi nila pinapansin na kasi huwag na mahawak anong COVID-19 o whatever. At sa bagay, dahil tapos na, malaking bagay pa rin para sa MLB na natapos yung series dahil kung umabot ito sa Game 7, anong gagawin ng both teams? Dahil Game 6 nga, nakitang positive si Turner. Siyempre, lahat ng mga kalaro niya, pati yung Tampa Bay, i-isolate yun. So, mawawala yung walang game pagka nagkataon. Siyempre, postpone yung game, isolated si Turner at yung kanya iba pa named teammates. Ang maganda nito kung itutuloy pa yung laro, matatagalan siguro. Ngayon, ang tanong natin dito, dapat bang parusahan itong si Turner kung sinong gustong Risa, mauna ka na kaya, Risa?
Well, I don't know kasi how they are in the United States. You know, kasi tayo dito, we have the IATF. I don't know how they are there in the States, but the way it seems to me is they're a little more lenient than we are here. So, as to kung paparusahan or magkakaroon ba ng sanctions or kailangan ba siyang at least in America. But I guess it's more of, you know, it's sad because na-overshadow yung magandang balita sana that the Dodgers haven't won a championship since what, 1988? Was it something like that? Napakatagal na panahon na yun. So, sayang yung ganung, sayang, with what he did, hindi naman to nakapagbigay ng kahit anong kapahamakan sa mga nakasama niya in that celebration.
Oo. About you, Abak, anong take mo dito? Ayan, si Waylon. Waylon, ikaw muna bago si Abak. Kung nadinig mo kami. Hindi ba ba, ano lang, nag-champion yung Dodgers.
Yeah, nadinig ko yung pinag-uusapan nyo. Yung nag-positive na player ng Los Angeles.
Nasa 8 inning na.
Yes, oo.
So, anong masasabi mo dito?
Kung paparusaan o anong actions ang dapat ibigay sa kanya, siguro dapat i-consider ng MLB kung ano yung mga sanctions na or siguro improvement para hindi na lang maulit yung victory So siguro in the future for baseball, for MLB, sa susunod na season nila, siguro i-consider nila yung nangyari na ganyan. Kumbaga parang parang violation yun in a way, 'di ba? Na hopefully in the future i-consider ng MLB yun na isama nila. So parang sa atin din, kumbaga parang ano rin yun pwedeng lesson learned din sa atin yun na kumbaga isama natin na yung mga ganung bagay hindi dapat ginagawa.
Tsaka itong MLB doon sa simula, kung ating natatandaan, ilang beses tong marami talaga nagkaroon sa kanila ng mga players na nag-positive sa virus until napuwersa itong MLB na maglagay na rin ng bubble. Yung small bubble na sinasabi nila, actually apat na venue yan. Pero ganun pa man, parang hindi din effective kasi too late. Masyadong too late na siguro na maglagay sila ng bubble. About may masasabi ka ba dito?
Alam mo, paring Saldi, itong baseball, isa pa sa expertise ko ito Sino bang nanalo? Sino ba nanalo? Seriously. Seriously. It's a very good year for sports fans in Los Angeles. Sipin mo, 3 or 4 weeks ago, nanalo ang LA Lakers. Kung wala lang COVID, talagang massive motor. Sabi nga ni Libro, kailangan gawin yung celebration, mag-motorcade ang LA Lakers at LA Dodgers. Pero I don't think they will be allowed under this pandemic, during this pandemic. Actually, pinanood ko yan, yung World Series na yan. Maaga nga ako namamalengke last week para lang abutan ko yung series na yan. And the Dodgers deserve it. And can show who won the game 4 yata, yung pinanalo yung big game. Thank you.
Malakas talaga yung bullpen ng Dodgers. Kaya talagang nanalo sila. Okay, Risa?
Alright. Punta naman tayo sa MMA news. Local MMA fighter natin, the landslide. Pulayang Ed Fulayang, Aba, hindi masyado naging maganda yung naging resulta ng kanyang huling laban against Antonio Caruso ng Australia. Tell us about what happened.
Week, ano? And he was very optimistic, was very confident, and he sounded to regain the title. Kaya sabi pa nga niya, ang hope niya is that kasi yung first World Championship niya napanalo niya sa Singapore. And this fight was held in Singapore. So sabi niya, parang itong lucky charm ko. It has to start in Singapore. Sayang, hindi siya nanalo. And at 35 years old, he actually is turning 36 next month, November 22 yata. Baka naman he should be facing questions about retirement. Ano? Ayaw natin pangunahan. Wala naman siyang pwedeng magawa. He could be a very good trainer and help the young Filipino MMA artists, ano? Martial arts athletes natin. Sayang, pero it's a good job, well done for Fulayang. Champion pa sa SEA Games yan for a very long time. From Wushu, nag-shift siya sa mixed martial arts. Ako, sa totoo lang, pagdating sa Filipino MMA, si Edward Fulayang ang aking iniidolo.
Right?
Ayo, ano bang Jerry? Ando ka ba?
Hindi. Dun sa mga, based sa mga statements ni Edward Fulayang after the match, mukhang hindi pa niya balak mag-retire. And he said there's still a lot left in his tank. So, actually, ganyan naman ang mga sinasabi ng mga fighters, no? Especially after a loss na hindi pa sila ready mag-retire. Bihira kang makakakita ng atleta na sasabihin na, yes, I'm going to retire after this loss, or whatever, no? Pero sana after makapagpahon as an MMA fighter, no? Tama ka, Abak, marami siguro siyang magagawa dyan, pero pwede siyang maging trainer ng Team Lakay, diba? Isa sa yung sa stable na umahawak sa kanya. Ayaw naman natin na lalaban siya for the sake lang na lalaban. Siyempre gusto pa rin natin yung makita na intact yung health niya, yung safety niya, yun ang mahalaga. Kaya sana kapag isip-isip ng malalim at mabuti. Thank you.
Alright. Jerry, since nasa iyo na tayo, why don't we discuss again yung mga, thank you, Aba, yung mga naging balita. Again, on spin.ph. Let's move on. Way lang naman for writer's block.
Ayun mo.
Layo ng tinalon, ha? Dali, ha?
So again, while Jerry is preparing for, of course, the hottest stories that was in the banner of spin.ph, we want to say hello sa ating mga viewers that are watching via live stream and of course via PBA Rush. Meron din tayong mga viewers na know we are all kind of worried kasi talagang it's all over the news also na may malakas na bagyo na paparating. So tayo'y maghanda na. It's not gonna hurt if we're going to prepare for it. So yung mga sinasabi nila na kung kailangang i-repair yung mga bubong o kung ano man yung mga kailangan po nating i-imbak sa mga bahay-bahay natin, gawin na natin yan. Ako personally, syempre baka magkaubusan ng konti ng mga supplies, di ba, for a while. At syempre yung mga gadgets natin, make sure they're fully charged para we could stay connected just in case then may emergency at kailangan natin ng communication with other people. All right, Jerry, are you ready for your writer's block? All right, let's do it.
Haba ng tinalo ng script, Nila yung wearing nung 1996 Grand Slam retro jersey nila. If you will recall, sinuot nila yan during their last game. their game last Saturday against San Miguel, and unfortunately natalo sila 92-88. And hindi sa pagkakatalo kaya ayaw na nilang isuot yung retro jersey nila na yan. Ang medyo may reklamo lang may complain ng konting-konti lang naman si Coach Jeffrey Carriazo. Mabigat daw kasi yung uniform. And tingin niya medyo may konting discomfort sa paggalaw yung mga players. Kaya sabi niya siguro one and done na lang yung pagsusuot nila ng Grand Slam jersey nila ng 1996. But hopefully, baka yung mga ibang champion teams nila, 1998, 2000, etc., baka yun, malamang magkaroon sila ng retro jersey na gagawin. Maybe
Nice. Pwede na nilang yan, idagdag sa kanilang collection. Kasi napakaganda ng jersey na yan. Waylon, your writer?
Number 1 online karate sensation na si James De Los Santos nanalo ng kanyang 18th gold medal nang talunin niya si Murilo Alves ng Brazil 3-0 sa final ng Pune Open India Karate E-Tournament Male Seniors category. Ang tinalo ni James lead up to the finals, nanalo siya against Alfredo Bustamante ng USA sa quarter semifinals. Ang dito, medyo may kwento yung pagkakapanalo ni James dahil yung internet connection niya, alam nyo, sa ikata na yan, online, di ba, yung competition, sinasubmit nila yung video, humina daw yung internet. Kaya nagdelikading na muntik na hindi niya ma-send. No, kaya siguro dapat na ilapit natin si paring James kay Tito Al Panlilio para smart powered na siya pagka sa mga next competition niya. Etong 18th gold medal ni James, i-highlight ko lang kumbaga na match niya yung pang-pito this month. Kumbaga yun ang pinakamataas niya. He-match yung September niya na nakapito din siya. Kumbaga 7 na siya. September and October. Kaya naku, ang dami na napapanalunan nitong kumpare natin. Talagang mukhang November, baka higitan pa niya yung gold medal siya. Kasi ang sabi niya, maraming competition sa November and December as well. Siyempre, ang goal niya is to keep the number pagdating ng December 31, number 2 ka na bigla. Ang gusto siyempre ni James, number 1 matapos ang 2020 niya. Alright, Reese?
Yeah, but that's easier said than done, ha? Akala ba natin online yan, madalas. Why not we ask him personally kung ano ba tong pinagdadaanan. Diyan na siya, wait, how about you introduce our guest?
Sabi ni Abak, i-guest natin minsan. Nandyan na pala Siyempre ito, kaibigan ng The Chasedown. Of course, James De Los Santos is the world number 1 ranked e-kata player right now. A former national team member. Let's welcome James.
Hi, James.
Hi, everyone.
Reese,
Hi, James.
unahin ko na yan. Ako na mag-unang tanong, no? Tapos sasagot yung iba.
Okay.
James, yung kumbaga 'di ba ito nabanggit ni Riza kanina na hindi madali yan na mas online competition, pero ano ba mas mahirap kasi yan kumbaga yung kata kumbaga parang nagpe-perform ka mag-isa. Ano ba mas mahirap? Ito parang araw-araw ka na nagko-compete halos o yung physical na tournament na kumbaga face-to-face tournament, punta kang ibang bansa or sa ibang lugar sa Pilipinas, magko-compete ka. O ito, araw-araw ka, kumbaga, laban?
Well, I've already gotten used to adapting to the concept of virtual tournaments, especially that there's so many tournaments that are being organized every month. Especially now that aside from competing, I'm also treating it as if I'm training as well. Kasi my kata coach from Japan, si Masa Saito, he's been guiding me every day in these tournaments, and he would always tell me to do warm-up katas before I submit my. Yeah, there's differences with virtual kata if you're comparing it to the actual. Kasi with the actual competition, you perform once, and then the judges will evaluate you right after your performance. Whereas here in virtual kata, so the athletes are given an opportunity to do as many takes as they want to get their best performance. Pero the judges will also have the opportunity to scrutinize your performance. Yung ibig sabihin na they can rewind your video as many times as they want to find every mistake that you make. So actually, if you really look at it, there's no advantage because it's like the athlete can do many takes, but the judges can rewind as many times. So yeah, there's really no advantage. Pero in my case, I would try to simulate it as much as I can with the actual competition. Because I do a kata for warm ups as many times as I want before I do my take. Pero in some cases where I have glitches, like what happened yesterday.
All right, thanks, James. Riza?
James, congratulations! Sunod-sunod yung panalo, ah. Ang galing.
Thank you.
I don't mean naman to go back sa nakaraan or the past, pero how would you describe your 2020 so far as it has, I say, just listening from the stories about you, how you've turned it around, like let's say what happened in the SEA Games and then the whole pandemic happening and now being world number 1 in Ikata. Can you describe to us your 2020?
Well, I would say that what happened last year was very unfair and unfortunate. But then, a few days ago, I was watching a video by Steve Harvey in his series called Motivated, and this episode was titled "Pain Always Leaves a Gift." And this opportunity just happened to be the virtual tournaments. Because before I started competing in these virtual tournaments, when this lockdown happened, I just trained to keep myself healthy and fit. Pero as time passed, there was cabin fever. I would have doubts, and I would always ask myself what else am I doing this training for? And then when this opportunity of virtual tournaments came about, that's what got me curious, and then I decided to give it a try. And I fast forward now, 7 months later, I'm now the ranked number 1 in the world for virtual kata. It's given me a very ecstatic feeling, and especially I'm very thankful to those who really supported me and who were really behind me all the way. It's really highly appreciated. I never would have gone this far without their support.
Galing, no? Napaka-inspiring nung resilience, and that's very innate among us Filipinos. Sabi nga nila, when a door closes, di ba, there's would be another, like a window that would open, and who would have thought that after nga
Yes, James, congrats ha.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Yeah, curious lang ako, James. Yung mga videos na sinasubmit mo, hindi ka pwedeng umulit, ano? Hindi, ibig sabihin, iba-iba dapat. Kada tournament ang ibibigay.
Yes, sir. Kasi it's like in a way where it's like the actual competition, you step into the stage and perform once. So basically, like submitting the video is already part of the competition. You can only submit once. So there are some reasons like, oh, you forgot to place the number code that they always give for every tournament, because in this number code you have to present it in your video. This is to prevent using the previous videos that you've used in past tournaments. So yeah, I think that's the only reason that they will allow you to resubmit your video. But other than that, no. Once you've submitted your video, you can't request and submit another video, because that would be also unfair to the other players who've already submitted their videos.
James, ikaw ba ang gumagawa lang ng sarili mong routine o may tumutulong sa yung coach or teammate mo or whatever?
I have my kata coach from Japan, si Coach Masa Saito. He's actually been coaching me until now for these virtual tournaments, because also the fact that I've achieved the number 1 spot in the world ranking for virtual kata. It's also who's been providing me the necessary conditioning programs in order to help my in order to help and enhance my performance for these upcoming tournaments. So I'm very happy that I have a coaching team that's really behind me in all these tournaments, especially for the upcoming ones for November and December, in order to help me maintain my number one spot throughout this year.
Thank
All
you,
right.
James.
Speaking of upcoming tournaments, before we let you go, James, can you update us kung ano yung mga tournaments mo pang sasalihan in the future? Like for the
Well,
rest of the year?
I have 12 upcoming tournaments this November and a lot of tournaments this coming December. So yeah, it will be quite a busy 2 months for me, because I want to also maintain the number one spot by the end of the year. But I think hopefully next year there will be more virtual tournaments to come as well. And I'm also looking forward to joining these tournaments as well.
Grabe, lakas naman ng the Chasedown kay James. Imagine, he's preparing for 12 at least in November. And then iba pa yung December nun. Grabe nung pagka-busy mo pala. Thank you, James. May gusto ka bang batiin before we let you go? Mga gusto pang pasalamatan. You mentioned your coach. So meron pa bang mga naiwan?
Yung number one talaga, I really thank God for giving me this opportunity and for really keeping me healthy and safe throughout this whole pandemic, because I mean you never know, like the virus is still out there and it's just surprising that I'm still healthy and in tip top condition. So I really thank God for that, and I also really thank my two sponsors, Cafea especially, and I do have another sponsor, but the sponsor wants to remain anonymous. So I really thank the both of them, and I thank my kata coach, Masa Saito, together with his father, Kazuo Saito Sensei, and they're starting these tournaments. And to my conditioning coach, Jay Futalan, thank you for the conditioning program to further enhance my performance, especially to my parents who have always guided me and who always expect me to always be at my best, even if like their standards are really high. and I also want to thank my former teammate and the MKKPI chief instructor, Jerby Laporte, and to my Tito Adonis Colonia for letting me use their Honbu Dojo as their virtual tournament venue, and Julia Marcos for bringing home medals from these virtual tournaments as well. It's also a fulfilling feeling for me to have taught them what I know and for them to use it and to bring glory to our country as well. And I'd like to also thank all those out there who've supported us. Honor being here again.
And with all that you mentioned, kasama na kami syempre dito very, very proud kami sa iyong mga naging achievements. Ipagpatuloy ang magandang performance, ang paghakot ng gintong medalya, and then hopefully, and wag mo silang pansinin, James. Pag yan ang ginawa mo, naku, hindi tayo makakakuha ng medal. Pero sana, magtuloy-tuloy yung success mo because you deserve it. You work very hard for it. And congratulations. Huwag kalimutang mag-enjoy every now and then dahil kahit naman busy, dapat may time pa rin para lasapin yung success. We hope to talk to you again next time. Maraming salamat.
Thank you
James
so much.
De Los Santos.
Hi, James.
Thank you, sir.
Hi.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you so much. All right, so it was always a delight to talk to James. Tignan mo naman napakalakas ng the Chasedown sa kanya. Busy niyang tao, tapos napagbigyan pa rin niya tayo, ibang klase talaga.
Ay, pag hindi niya tayo pinagbigyan, aaper pati sa nivelong Galvez. Aper katabuti niya.
Berto na si Eddie Garcia.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Maiksi lamang. When we come back, marami pa tayong sports stories. Plus, ang ating bisita, very first Filipina fencer to receive a Division I scholarship in the University of Pennsylvania. That and more when we return. Kaya wag po kayong aalis. Magbabalik po ang The Chasedown! Back! the Chasedown! Again, ang aming pagbate sa mga kasama natin na Play app or perhaps online, nakastream sa atin. Thank you so much. Julian Lapid is always watching us. Julian, thank you for watching us. May mga babatiin ba kayo very quick before we put our guest on the show? Jerry, you want to greet anybody?
Belated birthday kay Paul Sama ng San Miguel Pier. And
Uy!
advance birthday kay Coach Paul Senasela bukas.
Ay, oo nga pala. All Souls Day.
Kaya,
Kaya
Souls Day.
Pausin. Ang galing ni Jerry.
Kaya si Coach sa kwarto niya. Kaso
Oh,
bawal.
meron din.
Alright.
Binabati ko rin. Binabati ko rin ang happy birthday si Bong Barameda. Blow ng candle dahil hindi pwedeng pumunta ngayon sa mga pantheon.
Bong, happy birthday.
Maraming candles yan.
Bong, happy birthday. Si Bara.
Si Bara, birthday ni Bara bukas, November 1.
Bong Bara.
Abak, you
Yun lang.
want to greet anybody?
Ako ay mga favorite partners ko lang dito sa office. Siyempre, mga layout proofreaders, team, Oilia, si Joan Cortez, si Glenn Rendon. Galingan nyo ha, pababa na ako. Sandali na lang.
Bilisan mo dyan. So, mga ginagawa nyo. Wayland!
Magsasara na daw kayo.
Ito, konti lang to. Borgie Hermida, happy birthday. Dating San Beda player.
Uy!
Ito pa. Sarah Pontilia Bautista, happy birthday. Ito pa, Girly Tugno, dating girlfriend ni Jerry Ramos. Nag-birthday.
Uy!
Happy birthday sa'yo.
Nasa Italy yan na.
Naging lalaki na eh.
Ito, player
Babae na.
Vincent Sikat, happy birthday. PJ, happy birthday.
Vincent.
Ayan, oo. Reggie Arnold, Asya, Valderrama, happy birthday. Classmate ko dati, Cherilyn Rodriguez. Ito, matindi. Pinakamatindi sa lahat.
Sino?
Odessa, Encarnacion, happy birthday, Odeng.
Oo nga pala, happy birthday, Odeng.
Kalimutan nyo.
Hapon pala, birthday, Nag-birthday nga pala
Happy
kahapon.
birthday. Former UE player, Olan Umiping. Happy birthday.
Uy!
Aaron Paz, pamakin ko, happy birthday. Pastor Von, Bahayan, happy birthday. Eto, last but not the least, nakalimutan mo, paring Zaldi. Ron Enriquez, happy birthday.
Ron Enriquez.
Okay. Nalimutan ko. Binati ko pa naman sa Facebook nga pala si partner.
Yan na, kakalimutan niya.
Wow, I'm sorry. Pero din pala, binati naman kita sa timeline. Pero nga pala, birthday na.
Alright. So, again, sa mga nagbe-birthday, happy birthday sa inyo. At sa mga bibigyan tayo ng mga magagandang balita. Zaldi, you want to introduce her?
Yeah, of course. Itong ating bisita ngayon ay gold medalist ito noong 2019 Under-23 Championship, silver medalist women's individual foil in 2017 Southeast Asian Games, bronze medalist women's individual foil 2019 Southeast Asian Games, and bronze medalist women's team foil in 2019 Southeast Asian Games. And welcome, Sam Catantan. Yan.
Hello po.
Hi, how are you? How are you, Sam?
Okay
Ano
naman po.
bang ginagawa natin dyan? Congratulations, ha?
Thank you
Ako
po.
na mag-shoot po. Ako na mag-shoot ng question sa'yo. Kailan ba ang alis mo papuntang United States?
Itong December 30 na po.
May mga kasama ka ba? Like, yung parents mo, kasama
Wala
mo?
po. Ako lang po.
Okay. Malungkot yan. So, tell us about your scholarship.
Nakakuha po ako ng full granted scholarship sa Pennsylvania State University po sa US. Yun po, lahat. Libre. Libre po yung rooms. May
Graduate ka ng college? Like, gano'n?
Opo, 4 years po.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Ang ganda. Congratulations talaga. Ang ganda ng opportunity yan. Oo. So, thank you, Sam, ha? Waylon, do you have question?
Yeah, oo, Sam, congratulations ulit. Ito, Sam,
Thank
pwede
you
mo
po.
ba sabihin kwento, of course, para na din sa mga viewers ng The Chasedown, paano kanila na-discover ng Penn State University? Saan kanila nakita? Anong competition? Yun, pwede mong ikwento sa amin.
Actually po, ano rin po parang connections din po kasi may isa pong Southeast na coach na dun po siya graduate. And yun po, siguro po kasi 2019 was one of my best years po as a player po. Parang dito po talaga yung naging maganda po yung performance ko every competition. Tapos, ito din po yung na-top 16 po ako sa isang world competition po, yung World Cadet po na ginanap sa Poland. So yun po, after po nun, kinontak po ako ng isang coach, tapos tinatanong niya po kung daw po ba sa isip ko, ganon. So yun, sinabi ko po sa kanya na hindi, kasi nga po, parang masyado pong mataas, parang never ko po talaga na-imagine na makakapag-aral ako sa US. So yun, sabi niya po na may naghahanap daw po ng players yung Penn State. So parang sinabi niya po na gusto niya daw po ako i-recommend, hindi pa kilala. Tapos yun po, nagtuloy-tuloy na po.
Mm-hmm. Sam, follow up lang dun sa sa question, no? First Pilipina ka na magkaroon ng scholarship grant through sports. So gaano kalaking bagay ito para para sa iyo, para sa fencing na din, na nagkaroon ng opportunity for you na to study in the States?
Ganitong kind po ng opportunity sa akin, and syempre sa buong fencing team na rin po. And magandang opportunity din po to para po magkaroon ng bridge po na pwede pong sooner or later magkaroon po ng mga bagong fencers na pwede rin makapaglaro po or makakuha ng scholarship sa ibang countries like sa US nga po, or pwede rin po sa ibang sports. And para na rin po teach po talaga ay pwede po pang world class.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you po.
Okay, Jerry. Yes,
Yes. Hi,
question, Jerry.
Sam. Yes, hi, Sam. Hello.
Hello po.
Sam,
Hello po.
ready ka na ba para sa buhay Amerika? Considering na meron tayong pandemya.
Yes, kasi nga po, yun po yung start ng fall semester. Pero nag-decide po ako na mag-defer po itong next semester dahil nga po sa situation. So yun po, ngayon naman po, ready naman na po ako kasi parang, syempre natanggap ko na rin po na ito na po yung new normal talaga. Kahit naman po dito mahirap. So, kailangan ko lang po talaga mag-ingat para po hindi ako makakuha ng any na sakit po. And, yun po, ayoko na po kasing mag-skip pa ulit ng isang semester kasi po isang semester na po akong late. So, yun po.
Bali, anong course bang kukunin mo? Naman natin yung Penn State, some power sa fencing yan no? Sa US College. May mga nasabi na ba sila sa iyo na plano para sa iyong career doon?
Wala pa naman po. Siguro pagdating na lang po din. Kasi through emails lang po kami nagkakausap So, yun po.
Bali, kailan ang alis mo ulit, Tams? December?
Etong December 30 na po.
30.
Wow.
Opo, 30.
So, makakapagpasko ka pa rito sa
Right.
Pilipinas.
Opo. Opo.
Tapos ang New Year doon na.
Doon na po.
Lungkot
Good
naman.
luck, Sama. Salamat.
Thank you po.
Balak.
Yes, Sam. Hi. Congratulations.
Hello po.
Baka kailangan nila ng sports writer sa Pennsylvania. Sabihan mo lang kami. Anyway, Sam, fencing, mahirap ba to during quarantine? How is it easy or hard or difficult na to keep in shape as a fencer during the quarantine, or madali ba dahil court space lang, pwede ka mag-train or thank you.
Actually po, mahirap po talaga kasi ano po parang kailangan mo po ng kasparing, kailangan mo ng kalaban. So, malaking adjustment po para sa amin kasi ilang months po kami, mahirap po talaga para sa amin. Pero, nakapag-adjust naman po kami with the help of our coaches po na hindi po huminto talaga, parang nagtiyaga po talaga sila sa online training para po matutukan po kami kahit po quarantine.
Okay. Ang online training mo ba ngayon are with the Penn State coaches na?
Hindi pa po. With their national team coach po. Coach
Okay.
Raul Canlas po.
Okay.
Magaganda mga kwento nito.
Hey Sam, I'm so excited for
Thank you po.
you. Grabe. And yan,
Thank you po.
well, I don't know much about fencing as to NCAA or yung sa leagues nila doon pero I know it's a big school. May mga nagpapatanong dito, ano yung mga dadalhin mo? Make sure that you have it when you leave.
Syempre po yung mga
Stuffed
yung
toys,
mga
wala?
dadalhin po yung stuffed toy na binigay po sa amin ng SEA Games nung medal po.
Oh, yeah.
And some of my po talaga, yung mga sentimental na medals po na importante sa akin. Yun po.
Yeah, we were flashing your photos, yung mga SEA Games and all that. I wanna ask, so kung 4-year scholarship yan, paano yung mga international tournaments mo and you being part of the national team? How do we go about it?
Siguro po, same pa din po. Makakapaglaro pa rin po ako sa mga competition sa ibang countries po, like SEA Games and Asian Under-20 or kung ano pa pong international competition. Pero baka po siguro manggaling lang po ako sa US, tas doon na po kami magkita.
Okay, I'm asking for a friend, Sam, ha? May interesado dito kasi meron kaming chat group. Paano daw ang love life?
Wow.
Natawa siya, ha?
Nag-blush.
Paano na nga?
Po talaga, may mga kailangan pong i-priority sa buhay and yun po, uunahin lang po muna talaga yung dapat unahin.
Yeah, kasi talagang opportunity of a lifetime. Imagine. Grabe.
And
Ito ang pangunahan.
siguro, kung hindi ko po siya i-grab, feel ko po yun yung pinakamalaking pagkakamali ko na ginawa kung hindi po talaga.
Yeah. The love life can adjust and wait. Sam, how big of an impact you're making to Filipino youth perhaps is something that you don't realize yet kasi 'di ba syempre you're para sa siguro it's just you're going to school, you're going to college, pero ano mga mensahe and katulad mo hindi mo nga inisip na balang araw makakarating ka ng Penn State. Your message for them.
Yun lang, always push yourself through your limits. Yun po talaga yung parang pinaka one of, yun po yung parang isang lagi kong iniisip. Parang hindi dapat ako nag-stick lagi, ito lang yung kaya ko, ganun. Kailangan everyday may bago ako natututunan, ganun. And pag nahihirapan kayo, lagi niyong tatandaan na hard work, parang yung paghihirap talaga is one of the stepping stone po talaga to success. And kapag ginagawa mo lang yung isang bagay kasi dahil kunyari gusto ng parents mo or feel mo na yun yung sikat, ganon, malabo parang malabo kang mag-succeed sa isang bagay kapag hindi mo talaga siya mahal. So, ayun, kapag kapag may mga gusto kayo talaga, laging iisipin ko bakit kayo nag-umpisa and
Always remember, sabi nga nila, you're wise. Diba? Thank you, Sam. May mga gusto kang pasalamatan?
gusto ko lang po mag-thank you sa mga coaches ko, sa mga teammates ko, sa buong team po namin, sa mga UE teammates ko na walang sawang sumusuporta, sa lahat na laging nandyan para sa akin. Yun po. Thank you sa inyong lahat.
Reese,
Ay, wala bang
Congratulations.
Wala bang football quiz?
Thank you po. Thank you po.
Okay.
yung bukod kay Coach Amat Canlas ng national team, yung coach na nag-start si Sam Catantan, ni Willa.
Wow.
Aba! Tingnan mo nga naman.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Reese,
Thank you,
All
Sam.
right, Sam,
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And I hope
Thank
that
you
you will
po.
have
Thank you po for having
Good
me.
luck, Sam. Good luck.
all the blessings when you leave for the States. Mag-iingat ka doon. And hopefully, kahit nandun ka na, we get to talk to you every now and then. Kakamustahin ka namin here on the show, okay?
Okay po. Thank you po. Thank you for having me po. Good afternoon
Bye,
po.
girl. Bye. Thank you.
Bye po.
Cute ni Willa.
Bye, Willa.
go. Go na, training na.
Pinagmamalaki natin na Filipina athletes now is making us more proud than ever, other than her achievements, in the recent Southeast Asian Games. Now she's bringing pride and glory to our country for being the first Filipina to be granted a scholarship in Penn State University. Again, it's something big. Kasi, di ba, it's a prestigious school. It's a good school. Lalong-lalo, ako, I know they're big in football, And then now, magkakaroon tayo ng isang Filipina fencer. And like what we said earlier with James, this could just open doors for other Filipina fencers natin and our athletes also. At salamat sa mga naging effort ni Sam at sa mga naging supporters niya for helping her.
Meron pa rin yan.
Since we've talked about, Penn State, di ba? Ngayon naman, NBA naman tayo. Si Waylon ang bahala sa atin dito sa ating NBA breakdown. Let's do it, Waylon.
Sagot ko yan. Siyempre, Risa, ang ating NBA breakdown, hatid sa atin ng simple, smart. Ito ang ating segment. Pag-usapan natin. Ito kasing NBA, alam naman natin na kakatapos ng halos ito with the Los Angeles Lakers winning the title against the Miami Heat. Pero ito na nga, nabanggit ni paring Jerry kanina, nag-alak na mag-upisa ito ng bagong season ang NBA bago magpasko. Pinag-uusapan ng NBA ang pag-umpisa ng season with a 72-game season per team yan, pagkatapos ito ng Olympics. So, mawawala din ang mga All-Star, mawawala ang All-Star weekend. Wala na nito dahil ison. Mapapabilis ang preparation ng mga teams dahil meron pang draft sa November 18, meron free agency, meron din silang training camp sa loob lamang ng 2 months. Ito, sa tingin nyo, mga kumare, kakayanin ba ng NBA ang mabilis na turnover from this previous season going to the next season na December na in 2 months? Ito, unahin ko na yung pinaka-NBA expert natin. Kaya ba ng 2 months? Preparation ng NBA, paring Abak?
Ano? Ano?
Ubos na yung 24 seconds mo.
Hindi ako maglalaro na isang buwan dahil magbe-birthday siya sa December 30. Tapos pangalawa, kakatapos lang nung season, yung grind medyo iniiwasan ni LA to his 35-year-old body. Gusto niyang ipahinga siguro ng gusto. Kaya sabi niya, actually, sinabi nung teammate niya, si Danny Green, pero malamang nakwento ni LeBron kay Danny Green, kaya kinuwento ni Danny Green. Tingnan natin kung ano makakapagpabago sa isip ni LeBron. Siguro, konting, alam niyo na, magbago isip.
Wag na lang siyang maglaro. Wala akong paki sa kanya. Sunod ko yung fan ng Lakers. Rizali, ikaw, at mo.
Ito masyadong bali na wala kang pakit. Bira ka talaga, oo. Anyway, sa bagay, ano yun si LeBron James lang naman nagsabi, tapos nirelay nga ni Green. Pero sa tingin ko, marami ding players siguro na katulad ng iniisip ni LeBron James. Dahil siyempre, lalo na yung mga pumasok doon sa playoffs, masyado nahirapan sila. Nga, kung tatanungin natin kung kaatat o 2 buwan na pahinga, kung makakaya na lang i-mount ulit yung another bubble, ako wala akong doubt na magagawa nila yan sapagkat alam mo naman ang NBA, always number 1.
Okay, correct ka dyan, pare.
Diba?
Ito, sunod naman natin ang aking ka-Boston Celtics. Paring Jerry, ano sa tingin mo?
Yankees na ako.
O kung wala nang iniisip.
Ayaw na niya sa Boston.
Boston, wala. Talo eh. Hindi, tingin ko naman. In the same way na ano nga nila yung bubble na kumbaga naitawid in so short a time, bakit naman hindi itong panibagong season nila? I think hindi na yata, correct me if I'm right, pero hindi na yata under a bubble setup no? Maglalaro na yata sila sa mga arenas but with a limited mga capacity. Tama ba, Waylon?
Yes,
Correct. Yung pagpe-prepare nila kung ganoon din lang na sa mga arenas na uli ang laro. Ang talagang lang diyan, ang question is yung mga late na teams na nakalaro, no? I mean, like Lakers and the Miami Heat, siyempre bugbog pa 'yon. Will they be able to bang matatawag dito yung makakapag-refresh ba yung katawan nila dun sa rigors ng bubble in just 2 months time, di ba? Si LeBron nga, yun, isa na sa mga medyo nag-iisip kung maglalaro siya agad sa start ng NBA season. So I think yun lang naman ang mga questions dun as far as yung mga players is concerned. Pero kung kakayanin ng NBA, tama si Saldi, parang Saldi doon. Number 1 ang NBA pagdating sa preparation.
Bubble ng ganong kabilis at naitawid nga nila. I think yung 2 months preparation kayang-kaya ng NBA yan. Ngayon, kung may mga players kagaya ni LeBron na sabi nga 1 month hindi siya lalaro for him to rest, gawin niya ng 1 season na magpahinga siya at wag na siya maglaro.
Kung babayaran mo si LeBron pwede yun. Bayaran mo.
Riza, your thoughts?
Well, you're right. Meron na silang blueprint and it was in 2 months' time, no doubt. As an NBA fan, I wouldn't mind another, NBA season so soon kasi talaga namang nakakapagbigay siya ng entertainment sa ating lahat. But I understand where the players are coming from. They're still trying to enjoy, of course, that time with family since they were ang buhay ng atleta. Once you're called, then you're gonna have to be professional about it. I think LeBron is just saying it now because he's still enjoying. But when he starts, when he gets into that mode na talagang kailangan nilang bumalik.
Alright, thanks, Riz. Eto, mabilis lang pag-usapan natin yung mga teams sa Central Division ng NBA. Of course, nandiyan ang Milwaukee Bucks, Indiana Pacers, Chicago Bulls, maghanda ka. Detroit Pistons at Cleveland Cavaliers. Interesado sa kanilang hometown player na si Gordon Hayward ng Boston Celtics.
Boston Celtics!
Yes! At syempre, ang Chicago Bulls may bagong coach, Billy Donovan. May mga gusto silang i-trade the players. At syempre, ang Detroit Pistons, balak daw i-buyout si Blake Griffin at i-trade si Derrick Rose for assets. Samantalang ang Cleveland Cavaliers, hanggang, eto, natin, mga kumpare, sino ang teams na dapat abangan sa Central Division? Mauna na ako para bahala na kayo. Dapat abangan pa rin dito, syempre, Milwaukee Bucks. Hindi sa start ng season sa 2020 December. kundi ipitrade ba nila or papakawalan si Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yun lang naman ang sino aabangan natin sa Central Division?
Ako, Milwaukee Bucks din siyempre yan. Dahil alam mo naman yan, palaging malakas yan. At saka palaging paborito. So, tingnan natin kung matutuloy itong deal dito kay Chris Paul. At ang magandang abangan natin ay kung sino itong, kung sino yung makakapalit niya. Yan.
Okay. Haring Jerry?
Ako?
Oo, ikaw.
Nagka-interest lang ako yung sa Indiana Pacers. Dahil mukhang interesado sila kay Gordon Hayward, Willo ng Celtics.
Yes.
Alam naman natin, coming off an injury.
Malalagasan pa.
Oo, niya sa Celtics, walang nangyari, di ba? Lagi siyang nasa injury list.
Kaya ka siguro trade na.
May isang season pa, isang full season, yung unang-unang season niya. Upo agad siya dahil na ACL, tama ba Waylon? ACL injury agad yung natamo niya on opening night. So, yun ang medyo nakakatch ng attention ko, yung interest ng Indiana Pacers kay Gordon Hayward. The past 2 seasons, hindi na nakaangat sa first round yung Pacers, na laging hanggang dun lang yung inaabot nila. Like this bubble season, na-sweep sila ng Miami Heat na first round. So, I think yung Indiana Pacers ang medyo naging interesado. More than the Milwaukee.
Tama ka, Jerry. Ibigay na nila si Gordon Hayward kapalit.
Ako, for the Central Division teams, I've always rooted for the Milwaukee Bucks. I really like Giannis Antetokounmpo. For some reason, I like how his performances on court and his personality off court. So, I've always been, a fan of the Deer. So, sana maging maganda tong mga player movements in the off-season so he can get the support that he needs kasi there's so much potential. And again, speaking of support and potential, hopefully they also get to land a good pick in the draft. So sana makatulong yan para nga maiangat nila yung kanilang performance in the next season. I like the Bucks.
Eto na, to the millions of NBA fans, our NBA expert, Aba Cordero. Your take.
Ganito kasi ang talagang story dyan eh. Kausap ko na kaninang umaga yung kapitbahay ko. Ang Milwaukee Bucks din talaga eh. Dahil ang step 1 nga naman, na-solve na dahil nagsabi na yata si Giannis na he is not opting for a trade. So, ang question ngayon is how they will reconstruct the team. Kung makuha ba nila si Chris Paul o kung sino man sa mga kapitbahay nila ang big player na makuha nila to help Giannis sa next season. Dahil 2 sunod na season na silang banderang kapos. Palaging number 1 team, at least sa division nila. Tapos, hindi umaabot sa finals. Kaya sabi ko doon sa kapitbahay ko, abangan na lang natin, di ba? Kung ano talaga ang kalalabasan. Kasi, kumbaga sa ending yun, bukas na palengke, it's an open market. Kaya lang, again, with the pandemic, nahihirapan din silang kumilos eh. Dahil, ganun lang. Yun lang ang sabi ng kapitbahay ko.
Kailangan naka-face mask. Kailangan naka-face mask eh. Naka-face mask, saka nakikipag-din. Oo, kaya mahirap doon eh.
Hirap.
Ayan, mga ka-chasers, ang aming NBA take sa NBA Breakdown, brought to you by Simple Smart segment.
All right. Thank you, Waylon, for the NBA segment. And again, make sure that you guys have NBA.smart so you guys can still keep yourselves updated with happenings in the NBA. Now, before we would say goodbye, we would just want to invite everyone to watch the Nationals every Sunday. So, bukas meron yan. Monday, Thursday, and Friday. 5 p.m. po yan on One Sports Plus. At syempre, kung wala pa po kayong Signal Play app, dapat mag-download na po kayo. It is so easy. All you need to go or to do is to go to the App Store. At then, syempre, hanapin niyo yung Signal Play app dyan. I-download, pwede yung iOS. And then after which, from the homepage, you just sign up, you put in your details, you'll get an email containing your activation link, and then it's that easy. Pwede na kayong manood ng inyong mga paboritong shows anytime, anywhere with Signal Play app. And now also, meron tayong promo, and it's super exciting because if ever you have an old satellite dish or yung Digibox, we want to help you level up your viewing experience by trading that in. So new subscribers can buy the Signal Prepaid HD box for only 800 pesos and get the satellite box for only 500 pesos. Plus, hindi lang doon natatapos yan. Your load on your first month and you get the next month's load for free. So, ang kailangan nyo lang gawin, idalhin yung luma ninyong Digibox, non-signal or non-satellite Digibox to the nearest Signal dealer so you can enjoy this promo. Today has been so much fun. Thank you sa ating mga ka-chasers. Maraming salamat. Again, marami tayong mga sports balita, kaya abangan nyo po kami ulit next week in behalf of Waylon Galvez, Zaldi Perez, Aba Cordero, and of course, Jerry Ramos, and the rest of our team. Ako po si Riza Diaz. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pong pagtutok. Kami po ang boses ng pinagkaisang Pilipinas 1PH, and we would like to thank you for joining us in this week's edition of The
Keep safe, keep safe.
Bye! Bye!
O, ingat. Wait.